Supreme Court will hear a case of a former high school football coach removed from his job because he refused to stop praying on the field. This all happened in the Seattle area. And this morning, our Fox 5 chief legal correspondent, Katie Barlow, is live outside of the Supreme Court. And Katie, people are following this case all over the country.
Good morning. Yes, in fact, there's already a crowd that's gathering here outside the Supreme Court for the case that'll be heard around 10 o'clock this morning. And Coach Joe Kennedy is a former high school football coach at a public high school in the Seattle area in Washington state. He used to take a knee midfield after football games to say a quiet prayer. Well, now he's suing the school for his old job back after he was put on administrative leave and then his contract was allowed to expire. Now, Coach Kennedy is arguing that the school violated his First Amendment rights to free speech and free exercise of religion. But the school argues that allowing Kennedy to hold these prayer sessions in the middle of the field in a public way actually violates a different provision of the First Amendment, the Establishment Clause, which prohibits the government, including public schools, from endorsing a religion. Now, this is not Coach Kennedy's first trip to the Supreme Court. In fact, he asked the court to take his case back in 2018, and he got denied. But at that time, 4 of the court's conservative justices, Thomas, Alito, Gorsuch, and Kavanaugh, wrote separately to suggest that it might be time to reconsider and readdress free speech rights for teachers in our public schools. Now, since then, Justice Amy Coney Barrett has replaced Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the bench, which is something that could certainly change the outcome of this case, and we'll see it as it plays out in the coming months. Back to you.
And Katie, this case is about a coach in Seattle, but it will have ramifications for teachers and coaches here in the DMV as well.
That's exactly right. The decision about today's case will have ramifications across the country for all public school students and teachers as the court decides to weigh in on this thorny issues. I laid out the arguments on both sides. I suspect we'll hear some of that during oral argument this morning. A difficult case and something that will affect all public schools, including all of the ones here in our region.
You know that you'll stay on top of it. Thanks so much, Katie.